held on 28 and 29 January. The idea behind this conclave is to provide a platform for all geography students to come together and ignite their own creative minds and put forth their nascent step towards research. Before moving ahead, I would like to call Dr. Sati Rajput to deliver the summary of NGYC National Geography Youth Conclave 2021. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you, Analya. A very good afternoon to everyone. I take this privilege to welcome you all to the valedictory ceremony of National Geographers Youth Conclave 2021. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome the chief guest of the occasion, Professor Rakesh Bhatyal from Center of Media Studies, School of Social Sciences, JNU. We welcome you, sir. We also have with us our patron mentor, that is our principal, sir, who is always a pillar of support and strength to us. I welcome our esteemed judges, Professor Sarfaraz Alam, Dr. Ushwinder Kaur, Dr. Monica Mishra, and thank them for their relentless effort of 2 days. The Youth Conclave gives an opportunity to the young undergraduates pursuing geography across institutions to come under one platform to present their work, output, and deliberate on their research findings based on their original work and innovative approach. The idea behind this conclave is to provide a platform for all geography students to come together and ignite their own creative minds and put forth their nascent step towards the research. It is an effort to learn, research, and present their findings. They learn that the research or research paper has its own body, that is concept, statement of problem, aim and objectives, data sources, methodology, data analysis, data representation, and relevant solutions. NGYC 2021 has contributed to subject matter, scope, and research methodology in the field of geography. It was a mind-storming deliberations of 2 days where young budding researchers of undergraduate level presented their research work on role of social media in geographical researches. The conclave started with the inaugural ceremony where we had Professor Anubhuti Yadav as our chief guest. She is professor in Department of New Media and Information Technology, Indian Institute of Mass Communication. She very rightly spoke on the use and misuse of social media. She highlighted how geographers can use various apps and sites to map their work and connect to the space. We also had with us Dr. Kiran from Department of Geography, Delhi School of Economics. He rightly mentioned how social media is turning out to be a powerful tool in geographical research. He talked about how social media is creating new languages, spaces, etc., and influencing society, economy, and daily life and businesses of people. The NGYC had 4 technical sessions and 23 paper presentations. The papers focuses upon health, agriculture, terrorism, e-waste, geopolitics, elections, disaster, nutrition, pollution, COVID, and hospitality industry, crime, etc. The conclave depicted how different topics can be understood under a huge umbrella of social media. The young geographers applied new methodologies to assess the digital data, both qualitatively and quantitatively. Many of them did sentiment analysis, intent analysis, cluster analysis, Google form analysis, cloud data analysis, and much more. They gave very interesting and relevant suggestions too. The participants and mentors deserve a huge round of applause, as it was because of them the event became so successful. The event may end giving away the prizes to the best paper, but for us, all other teams deserve lots of appreciation for their hard work and dedication. The journey of research has just begun for them. So do not get disheartened if you do not win a prize. because as it is said, सितारों से आगे जहां और भी हैं, जिंदगी के इम्तिहान अभी और भी हैं. I wish all the very best to all the participants and best of luck for your future. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words. Now I request our patron, Dr. Anil Sardana, to kindly speak few words.
Thank you very much. At the outset, Professor Rakesh Batyal, thank you very much for sparing time for our college. And the teacher in charge, Dr. Kavita Arora, coordinators, Dr. Bhati, senior teachers, Dr. Poonam, Dr. Raman, and various other teachers who are a team of teachers and students to make this program very successful. This has always been successful because I've been attending this program right from the beginning. Third year, it is the third year, and it's my good luck also that I was associated with this from the very beginning. So I congratulate Department of Geography that you have started a new thing recently, because 3 years are always considered recent in the life of any institution. So, but this has gone very well. This is
लेकिन 2 तारीख को, लेकिन ये सब आप लोग ये हुआ है बंद.
Om Prakash, please. Hello, Mr. Om Prakash, please mute yourself. So this is the right opportunity to thank all those who have contributed. Dr. Monica, Dr. Uchwinder, and Professor Sarfraz for being judge in our college. I believe that it's my good luck that such intellectuals and high achievers, as I was listening to what has been done, I was there yesterday also briefly, but principals do not have, that kind of privilege to attend the function fully, even if they wish to, because there are so many other things which come in between and one has to attend that. So I'm very happy that students have gained, and they have gained through you, and they will always gain in future also. As far as my support is concerned, everybody knows that for any cause of the student activity, the teacher activity, I am always there, and it is my duty to perform that. So once again, congratulations to Department of Geography. The whole team must have worked very hard, because a lot of efforts go into organizing any program, and this has been a new thing for university as such, because I believe that many colleges are following it as we started, and I believe it's the right time. Is the right time to help the students to learn more better skills. As I see, the focus has been on social media and the data analysis, data collection, and all that. And today's world is of data only, that we speak in quantitatively, not qualitatively. When you speak quantitatively, the weight is more, and you are more authentic, and people are able to learn faster. And our young people, they will definitely learn through social media and through various skills of computer applications. So my good wishes and my thanks to all of you, and God bless you. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your benevolent words. Now I request Dr. Neha Arora to invite our chief guest, Professor Rakesh Batabyal, to express his knowledge about the idea of space bias in media today. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Analya. Good afternoon, everyone. Dignitaries, students, teachers present on behalf of Department of Geography, Shahid Bhagat Singh College. I would like to welcome one of the eminent, esteemed, and renowned chief guests for our today valedictory function for NGYC 2021. I would like to welcome Professor Rakesh Batabyal, Associate Professor, Center for Media Studies, School of Social Sciences, Jawaharlal Nehru University. Sir has Doctorate of Philosophy in Modern History with MPhil and MA in Jawaharlal Nehru University. He specializes in philosophies and histories of media and moral philosophy, technologies and transformations. He's a person of wide interest in music, education, creative animal fields, and many more. Sir has a long experience with his services as a faculty member since 2008 at JNU. He chaired he chaired different conferences at Graduate School of Information Studies, Tokyo University in 2010. He received postdoctoral fellow in Shimla in 1996-99. Sir has received a number of awards and honors. To his credit, he has been invited as a visiting international fellow at Faculty of Social Sciences, Osaka, Japan in 2019. He has been selected as an editor, organizer, member in a number of learned Indian societies. He is invited for international conferences by Government of Poland. In 2010, he is awarded with a number of scholarships and fellowships during 2008. His peer-reviewed journals and books are widely acclaimed in national and international publications. I welcome you, sir, and over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Arora. Thank you, Dr. Another Arora. And thank you all those who are not Aroras. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Sadhana, thank you for your kind words and encouraging the young geographers. In fact, being a historian, I had a very poor opinion about geography when I was a student. And if you tell me now after 30 years, in fact, the only discipline I learned maximum is from geography. And then realize that how these two disciplines have more or less mentored the understanding of human sciences. So therefore, the early sectarian views of a one particular discipline have given way to a kind of Milky Way where hundreds of disciplines are flourishing, but in that Milky Way you try and get to. In fact, these are not literary fixes. I prepared a lecture for this afternoon. I'll send it to Kavita, but in the meantime, I realized that the standard of this competition, this conclave, generally are so high. Yesterday, I saw the sociologist in Miranda House. Today, you must have seen. But I have a sense of the kind of teachers they have, and therefore the kind of standards they have. In fact, in that sense, DU, I was sitting this afternoon with the ambassador of Finland, and we were talking about education. And one thing I said, Delhi University has, I think, the world's best undergraduate program. I said, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm fully confident, despite all odds that it has been suffering. Now, what does it mean? It means a huge amount of things, because every year, so many geographers, if I take the undergraduate system, who come out of the geography departments and then merge into larger academic world. Therefore, this is the context in which was enthusing me to speak something which might be interesting to you, because you have done too much of data last 2 days. You're all in the data mind. You become a data geography set. So let me from a media set, let me give my understanding of what is happening and what are the new frontiers in which we want your help in understanding many things. Remember, when you go out of India, Indian geographers are very highly respected. I was teaching in Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka is a country where, despite what you and I understand, a small country means small culture, small standard. This is completely different. Their education standards are much more higher than our standard. And there, the geography departments, unlike in India, where primarily the history and economics used to set the agenda, there it is the geography department set the agenda in social sciences. And almost every geographer I met, they're extremely respectful for Indian geographer. In fact, I had to buy a lot of geography books for them. I'm not exaggerating. Dr. Mandal's book on land, and R.P. Singh's books, and a lot of L.S. Bhatt's books. I had to send them there. These books are very costly there. So in this sense, you are inheritor of a very strong legacy, and therefore, if I, as a historian, if I talk about legacy, that is a Persian legacy, Arabic legacy of geographers, cartographers, and then since I worked on institution, my book on JNU was trying to connect departments, institution, knowledge production. In that sense, India is inheritor of a rich legacy of geographical knowledge, which came from Arab It came from Persians, it came from Central Asians, and similarly it came from British. And though we talk about Humboldt, Germans came very late. Even now they are not there, but the British came. In that sense, we have a kind of tradition that we have developed, which in fact some geographers have to come in the new era. Geographers have to come and synthesize that. Centers like Patna, Aligarh, JNU, Delhi, Banaras. The centers. What did they produce in terms of geographical knowledge? Geographical knowledge in the sense how geography and geographical knowledge played into our own imagination of many things. It is in this inheritance that I want to draw your attention to, and I want to draw your help to get something for my own understanding of the idea of space. In 1940s, a scholar called Harold Innis, he was an economic historian in Canada, he wrote a small book called Media Bias, Space and Time. His basic, very simple argument in 1940s communication studies, in fact, I don't do communication studies, I do media studies. This is a new center that we had developed in JNU, which would do a study of mediation, how things get mediated, through hearing, through sound, through reading, through seeing, through touching. Now we are now in a completely hegemonic media regime where touch is the game. I touch the screen. So we are in the screen culture. We are the touch screen. Unfortunately, the kind of High Court judgment that is coming from Bombay High Court and additional judge, which is making mockery of the judicial system and also of the gender justice system in the country. So even there, what do you mediate? What are the messages that you give when you touch someone, to touch screen? So these are the processes of mediation that we try to study. It is in this sense different from the older understanding of communication, journalism, and other things. But after all, we try and understand the messages. We decode, try to understand the decoding, the process of decoding, but much more than that. So it is in this sense that when Harold Innis talked about how and which kind of media, which kind of medium carries what kind of effect, in the sense he said that the heavy medium cannot be transported far and wide, and therefore it has a time bias. It is very physical, it is there, so it has a time, it goes deeper into the thing. On the other hand, if something is lighter material of communication, the medium is lighter, it travels far and wide, and this many of you are familiar with, and therefore the empire that communication creates, the large of space that it can dominate, the large area that it can influence, is through a light matter of communication. Now, this is a small beginning. This is critique. Many of his students came up. There's a student of his called McLuhan, who's very famous otherwise, Marshall McLuhan, who argued that, you see, medium is the message. There's nothing in the message that you read to find out my intentions, but the medium through which I speak, it itself tells me who I am. Now, if you take this slightly different area, now if you have an iPhone, I don't have to tell you, or I don't have to tell anyone else who you are, because it starts conveying a particular message of your class, caste, and whatever positions, gender, whatever position that particular modem, particular media conveys. It is in this sense today, the data that we are all talking about, data, the digital data that is available to all of us, in fact, is coming through that lighter medium. It is in the air, it is in the cloud. And when quantum computing comes, that is where the battleground or the future lines of every country is gearing up, pulling its resources from social sciences, humanities, and pumping it into what is called quantum computing. So it will make it further light. Now, this lighter mode of communication, the lighter medium of communication that the data travels with, makes it a very, very strategic thing, very, very important thing, because it can create an empire. no, we empire not in terms of very neutral, very sanitized version, but it can create its dominance whichever way over other people, over other territory. And this is exactly what is happening. If you have access to data, if you are yourself a data, both, if you have access to data, for example, WhatsApp, you have been talking about amongst yourself and talking to each other about this kind of WhatsApp, YouTube, they have data algorithm. Now, if you have access to those data, you are owner of many things. You have resources that you can pull up. You have social, cultural, economic capital, which those who do not have, do not have. So therefore, a condition of data colonialism can be seen. In Innis's term, here is the space that this media provides. It can imperialize over large area of spaces. And that's why today, the US or India do not have to send anybody in any army, or China doesn't have to send an army to conquer, say, Ethiopia or anybody. It can just send the data. It can flood the country with data. It has enormous data. It doesn't need. It just sends its wherewithal, its material, its merchandise, anything, and using that data. So we are in a new space, and this, I think, David Harvey and other geographers have very nicely elucidated, slightly in a different context. So therefore, when you're talking about data, we are also talking about a new media which has created a kind of, in the Innis's term, a bias. It is a space bias. Space bias means it can spread, it can enlarge. Therefore, people who do not communicate through data, who do not have access to data, are what is called time bias. Now, I gave you this very simple polls. There are gray areas. You can do research. We can do research. Too many research. Too much of things can be done. But the simple idea of time-based and space bias and time bias can give you so many hints of the social agenda that we have to look for our further frontiers of research. For example, I'll give you one very simple example, is the fact that the enormous amount of tribal population that geographers have helped, in fact, Munis Raja's Atlas of Tribal Atlas, Geography of Tribal Atlas, give you one of the first contribution in the 1970s when it came out, or the first contribution of the geographers to understand the graphic positioning. Now, if the tribals don't have the data of their access to, they don't have access to data, on the other hand, they themselves are also not data quite often, because they may not have the what is called Aadhaar card or whatever card, whatever manner of data that you want them to reduce to, because most of us here are also data in many sense. So therefore, if a section also, they themselves are not data, then one, their time bias, so they go back to their history, they root their history. So that this is my history. I remember my history. I am time bound. And then the nature of language changes, nature of looking at history changes, nature of the way they look at politics changes, nature of their economy changes. On the other hand, most of us here, our data, all of us have PAN card, we have numbers, everything we have. We ourselves are data. We are in the voter list. We are in this. We are this. They are they. We have. We are in the Amazon-like list. We are in Flipkart list. So we are data. So once we are data, we are in the space zone. We either float with space, or we participate with space, or we counter that space by creating a parallel space. But we don't inhabit the time bias media that Innis talks about. Now, in this polarity of thought, there are a huge amount of gray areas, as I suggested. But this has created some of the finest arguments that have come by applying geographer's mind, by applying media mind, and applying understanding the larger global situation. Now, look at, I'll give you just 3 or 4 arguments in which these arguments have somehow been crystallized. At the very simplistic level, most of you are, many of you are urban geographers. And remember, one of the major contribution in urban geography is in the process of thought formation in recent years have been Harvey's and Saskia Sassen. Now, what Sassen and thirdly, Castells, Manuel Castells. Castells is an architect, Saskia Sassen is a sociologist, and David Harvey is in your field, geographer. But forget about the discipline. What Saskia Sassen was talking about is that the way economy and society, the globalization is happening, it is happening in a particular way in which within the same city, there are pockets of population, pockets of or parts of that city becomes part of a connected to pocket of another metropolitan city, another global city. For example, Golf Link of Delhi becomes part of Manhattan of New York, but Golf Link of Delhi doesn't become part of Northeast of Delhi. So if Northeast, a riot takes place and violence happens for 10 days in Northeast Delhi, Golf Link or Friends Colony is not at all affected because it is connected to Manhattan or Wall Street area. So therefore, a new kind of what Saskia Sassen talked about, assemblages were emerging. And this is what, in her argument, a new kind of part of globalization. And you can see that happening. So you have pockets within the same city, pockets of different culture emerging, pockets of different politics emerging, pockets of different aspirations emerging. Now, that is one kind. Now, similarly, Castells also talked about connections, networks. So these cities are therefore networked in a particular manner. And if you take David Harvey's argument that these connections, these assemblages are defined by the way capitalism is taking shape. Now, I'm giving you this indication to argue something else. And this something else is my proposition for this afternoon. There are two areas that we want all the young geographers to help us. One is to take forward the frontiers of human sciences, the humanities as such. And humanities, as you know, humanities, for example, if you're doing political science, which is humanities, if you're doing English or history or sociology, we do classics, we do Aristotle, we do Socrates, we do Chanakya, we do Shankara, we do Anandavardhana, we do classic, we go back to classic, because humanities is basically, or not, I would say basically, because that would be sounding essentialist, humanities are asking questions of human self itself, how to live well. And that is a fundamental question that was raised by Aristotle, that was raised by Nachiketa, that was raised by Aruni. You remember all your icons, they all asked the same simple question, how to live well in this world? No, how to live well. Buddha asked the same question. The answer for him was that I live well if I have karuna. So the mudra of karuna. If you read this, when you get down at Terminal 3 airport and all the mudras are there, this mudra, it touches you. Does it convey something? Compassion. Therefore, all these issues that we deal with in humanities are concerned with human self, human destiny, and therefore we go back to classics, we take forward. Now, it is in the same process that this data becomes a very critical area where those who do not have data, or those who are not data, somewhere slips out of human concern. Now you can understand what I'm saying. If I am not a data, you don't study me. What happens? And this is not digital divide. I'm saying something else. In the new world of data, which is creating a new empire, according to Ines, where everybody has to be a data, and therefore, suppose I am not a data, I slip out of your consciousness. If that happens, a large chunk of humanity will sink out of my consciousness. Let me give a more emphasis on this point, that a large chunk of humanity will get out of my concern, my consciousness, and this is when the UN report comes and says that 2100 1 billion people in the universe will be migrating constantly. 1 billion people will be constantly moving around in the world in terms of looking for living spaces and livelihood spaces. Living spaces because the small islands will start submerging, a lot of areas become resourceless. As one concern in Punjab crisis was that Punjab desertification may endanger the entire agriculture. So all these are, you can see actually your parents, my parents had many relatives who were stable, but most of my relatives are not stable. They are all scattered out across the universe. So it is the well endowed who have been migrating. But if you could see the migrants movement during the pandemic in India and also many other places, a huge number of people will be constantly moving. And the way Middle East was moving because of violence, because of attack, because of this, because of that, large number of population in Africa has been moving, large number of population in Bangladesh, Burma, Fiji, Myanmar, people will be moving. We ourselves may be moving. So in this, the refugee population that was moving actually brought into attention this issue of dataless people. I wouldn't say dataless, people who are not data. And this is a concern that some of the finest activists and scholars have brought out when they studied Mediterranean. And it's a beautiful work. I'll send you the references, but it's called liquid citizenship. Liquid. They're liquid. They're not there. And in Mediterranean has been called the most unsafe place in the world today, because conservative estimate says at least 6,000. More estimate says around 30,000. So from 6,000 to 34,000 people have been drowned and killed over the last 2 decades because they were trying to escape Africa, Libya, Ethiopia, Tunisia into Europe, and they got submerged. And and this is an allegation, this is an accusation, that European boats, European Coast Guard, European security actually did not come to rescue them. And this is the question that the scholars Pazzini and his team has raised, and they have created a completely new discipline using geographers and data called human forensic, different alternative forensic. That what is happening with this dataless people, because these refugees are not in anybody's data. The countries are not accepting, they're leaving behind everything. They don't know where you are from. Suppose a dead body, if you remember the old dead bodies are floating in Mediterranean, you don't know where they came from, and nobody has claimed them in Europe or wherever they're going. For example, Rohingyas. If they leave Burma, Burma doesn't have any data of them, they have rejected, and Bangladesh or India or China, nobody accepts them. They are no longer data in any data bank. Because at the same time when this was happening, in our own concern, in our own country, we have creating a very strong surveillance database that we are all data now. So one side you are strong databases, and in one side there is people who are not data. This is where the scholars are pointing out that the concern for humanities require a different way to understand, bring the concern to the humanities table in research, that though people who have not been data should not get lost of our concern. So refugees are our major concern in this sense because they are not data. So this is one concern which I thought I should place, because we will be seeing more and more, because all these movements that are happening in the country, the farmers protest, farmers are saying the land was my, you could understand this way. Farmers are saying the land and the farming was embedded in my body. And capitalism over the last centuries have been disembodying. What you do, many teachers you meet, they don't look like teachers. They don't behave like teachers. So you have a notion of a teacher, which earlier generation have a few, and you have of the future generation. They don't match. So gradually capitalism is converting teaching into something which a bank employee can do, as anybody can do. Now, in many schools in Delhi, the many teachers are outsourced by some service agencies. So the capitalism disembodies. Now, farmers are saying, first time in human history or the last 300 years, the farmers came back and say, understand the historical importance of this, that we are farmers. Imagine at the same time when three big communities, say in India, Jat, Maratha, Patidars, have been agitating over the last 10 years to have reservation in services. They want to leave farming and enter into services. Here is a community, huge community of people who came and say, I don't want this. I want farming to be, I recognize I am the farmer. So this is where they're saying we are farmer as data of farmer. No, we don't want to be losing out. So in a kind of anticipating that they could be very soon dataless, in the sense of they themselves will not be the data. Here they have a data, they have a land, they have a data. So this is very, very, very significant areas of human concern that we can involve. The second concern is the world, the way we are moving. It is, many people have already pronounced, we are going into post-human society, where what the Enlightenment and even before Renaissance concern of human being the center of knowledge formation, human being center of knowledge consumption, human being center of consumption of the world that it is, has to end now, because humanity itself will end if it goes on. Therefore, the other segment of our symbiotic, and this the physical geographers have done for a long time, talking about symbiotic ecology, symbiotic world, that we lived with animals, we lived with hills, we lived with rivers, but in front of you, almost each one of these entities are finishing off. Now, can you therefore, knowing this happening in front of you, rivers which were basis of civilization, basis of many things, are dying. Small rivulets have died. Hills, any geographer, take a data set of from National, whatever, Geological Survey of India, or you would survey, maybe we have destroyed or we have killed, we have almost nischin, we have done of many hillocks in your neighborhood, in your village, anywhere in the country, in the name of road making, this making, that making. If you have 10,000 hills in 1940, I don't know how many hills exist. And hills have their own history, and hills have history with me. So many, Govardhan is a hill which Krishna put it on his this finger. So there's a hill. Hill brings a history. History brings a myth. Myth brings my identity. A lot of things are involved. Similarly, river. Similarly, animals. Animals are more or less getting extinct, many animals. For example, the big debate between Indian species cow, which will very, very soon face extinction because the way we have embroiled a politics around it. I am a great preserver of Indian species of cow, and remember, the Jersey cow, this cow, that cow had more or less created very little space for our own species. Similarly, the dogs of India, similarly many others. In this sense, therefore, what we have been doing, but geographers, because it is only one discipline where these marks are very distinct. You do human geography, you have to do social geography, you do economic geography, you do physical geography. So you're trained into seeing things in a segmented way and then combine them. Now the moment has come when we are talking about a kind of post-human world, post-humanist world, where concern is not me. Concern, if the concern is larger humanity, as I said, humanity also means people who have not become data should also be part of my concern. Similarly, the animals and insects and hills and rivers, they are either data to be consumed and finished off, or they are just for my own consumption. On the other hand, we have to create, if we are concerned of, say, humanities generally, and therefore as human sciences is actually looking at the problems and concerns of humanity, then the idea will be within the discipline to use social media or other media or data to chalk out a route where other entities of the universe become part of my subject, not as Kant had said, and not as a means to my survival, nor cow not as a means of my politics, but cow, for example, as means of creating, cherishing a very beautiful species that came up here. Similarly, dogs, for example, our Indian dogs, who a dog is the only dog which went up to the Swarga, it went up to a Swarga with Yudhishthir, only the dog. So you have a mythical, historical, literary figure which is part of your history, and yet he or she doesn't find place in your historical, geographical, political, or economic account. These two concerns, therefore, bring me to last point, where media is becoming space bias, in the sense it spreads out, it allows you to spread. You switch Netflix, you can watch any documentary from any part of the world. You switch Amazon Prime, you can see anything anywhere in the world. So your boundaries, horizon, geographical horizon, your literary horizon, your horizon is all around the world. So you conquer the world. Similarly, Jack Ma can conquer the world. Bill Gates can conquer the world. So space, a kind of media becoming space. Now it is in this conquest of space that media itself thinks like it is biased. It is biased toward that. Whereas those animals, those farmers, or those tribals, or those refugees who do not have the way to become expansive, do not to be traveling, they themselves are not data to be traveling, therefore becomes not my concern, become marginal of my concern. And this, therefore, constitute two sets of problematic that the new research range, taking from my own discipline, media studies, invokes the geographer to come in. With these words, let me thank all of you for calling me, inviting me for this very, very important event, and wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you, Kavita, and thank you, Monica. Thank you, all my old colleagues and friends and students, Academic Staff College, JNU, and elsewhere. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you, sir. It was really very wonderful presentation, though I'll give you the formal vote of thanks later. But yes, it was very nice. You are here with us and you speak so well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge with us, and it was great listening to you. Our judge for the NGYC 2021, Professor Sarfraz Alam, Department of Geography, Faculty of Science, Banaras Hindu University, has specializations in geography education, history of geography, social and political geography, and South Asia. He is the principal investigator of the project titled Status of Geography in School Boards of India, a comparative study sponsored by UGC New Delhi. He is an active member of National Geographical Society of India Varanasi, Geographical Society of India Calcutta, National Association of Geographers New Delhi, Institute of Indian Geographers Pune, and Society of Earth Scientists Lucknow. I request Sir to kindly share his experience with us.
Thank you, Analia. Thank you very much. It was really a very exciting thing for me to participate in this 2 days program as a judge. I know it's very boring work to be listening to people, but I really enjoyed the new ideas that these students threw, the amount of work that they put in for their projects, and the energy that they have, the clarity of thought, the way they express their ideas, the confidence. And I'm really hopeful that Indian geography is in in right hand. I'm very, very hopeful that Indian geography will do better. Uh, Another important thing is that it was also a learning thing for me because I am a little conventional geographer in the sense that I use social media and internet for my research, no doubt about it. But the kind of work that these students have produced is really an eye-opening for me. So it has been really how the issues that they have taken up, the election in Bihar and the mapping of emotions in geopolitics, and then Dabbawala's study, and then a mental image of Connaught Place and how Connaught Place became an exclusive place to an inclusive place after the construction of Palika Bazaar. So the kind of problems that on which these students have worked is really amazing. And anyway, it has been a good experience for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed uh, listening all the papers. And I'm sure with little bit of more input, some of these papers can be published in any journals from India. And I would also like to appreciate the efforts put in by the mentors of different teams. And that means the nature of relationship between the students, and that throws light on the nature of relationship between the students and the teachers. Shahid Bhagat Singh College is an important center of geographical study. And no doubt about the fact that, as Professor Bhatriyal sir, he was our senior at JNU, and ma'am was also senior at JNU, his wife. And my wife was in a way quite close to Professor Bhatriyal's wife. So in a way, what I see is the the kind of scholarship that colleges of Delhi University and the kind of students that join these colleges provide an ideal ecosystem where a good quality work can be produced. And that's what we have seen during the last 2 days. But my only piece of advice would be that, look, this social media contains a lot of data, no doubt about it. Internet contains a lot of data, no doubt about it. But how to sort these data, how to make these data, how to analyze these data, for this you need to read a lot, and particularly geography, which is quite conventional in the sense that we still, if we look at our syllabus, we most of the time we still teach conventional geography. But of late, not of late, but since last 50 years, if I would say, since the publication of Social Justice and City by David Harvey, and its subsequent publications by Harvey and Smith and a number of sociologists, geography has really transformed, and we need to look at the space, the question of space, and how a space is produced, and how a space also influences human society, and how a human society create a space, what are the designs behind this. So we need to be very, very careful while using this data, that what is the intention of this data, what is the political meaning these data carry. So we need conventional training in order to understand the contemporary data that is coming up. We need a strong training, particularly in critical geography critical cartography also, because maps are nowadays very, very important tool of conveying messages. So with these words, it was also very nice listening to Professor Bhatbial sir. I have attended a refresher course, orientation course at JNU, I think way back in 2007 or 8. So it was wonderful listening to you after such a long time. And now we have a good group of historians from Jawaharlal Nehru University and from Delhi University who have joined BHU. And I only wish some of these students join my university, that will BHU, so that we can also work with them and produce some good quality work. Thank you very much. And it was really wonderful being with you. I really learned. I'm saying from the core of my heart, it was a good learning experience for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Alam. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Ushwinder Kaur, Associate Professor, Department of Geography, Swami Shraddhanand College, University of Delhi, has a research interest in disasters and global warming and various other natural disasters. She has 20 years of teaching experience. I request ma'am to share her experience as being the judge for NGYC 2021.
Dr. Ushwinder, are you there?
I think I can.
Yes,
Yeah, she's here.
There's some problem with my camera is not working. So I'm audible? I'm audible?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think my camera won't work. Thank you very much for inviting me to be a judge of this program. I really enjoyed this program and I was amazed at the quality and amount of work the undergraduate students have put in. The research papers are of very good quality, and the type of work they have done is some of the MPhil students are not able to put in such effort. So it's a great work, and I think the mentors have really been very successful in presenting very good work by these students. They have really polished them, and most of the students have this very perfect kind of presentation, and their approach was very professional while presenting their papers. So most of the papers were very interesting, and there were some varied fields of discussion. Some were from cybercrime, some were discussing about terrace farming, others are talking about the dabawalas, and some of them have created very nice models which could be used for future research in different fields of social media as well as in geography also. So I feel that students were very creative in their approach and themes were very varied. So that gives a very, interesting outlay to most of the presentation. And I wish for a bright future for all the students and the participants. And great efforts were put on their part. And great efforts were also put by the organizing team, as it was a very well conducted, very well planned, and very well organized program. So I look forward to be part of many such events, and I think all the best for future endeavors. And I really enjoyed myself in this whole event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Monica Mishra is an assistant professor of psychology, School of Social Sciences, IGNOU. She is the coordinator of BA Psychology program. Her research interests are in the areas of organizational behavior, child and adolescent psychology, personality, environmental and media psychology. She has been contributing articles for books and journals. She is an active member of Comparative Education Society of India and National Academy of Psychology. I request ma'am to kindly share her experience.
Thank you, Analya. And actually, when Professor Bhattabhyar was speaking, I was transported to the classroom of JNU HRDC, and I was totally immersed in the field, so as to say, but now I'm back to the conclave. At the outset, I would really thank the organizers for inviting me as one of the judges. And it was really a very good experience. And all the research papers, in fact, they were on very serious themes, so as to say. It was not just for the sake of presenting, but they were all very serious. And it was really very difficult to decide on who performed, better, or, giving ranks and so on. It was very difficult. In fact, you all put us in a very difficult space. In fact, my appreciation to all the mentors who have really guided, and such good things have been already shared by the other two judges also. They can be, there are many papers that can be shaped and that can be published not only in Indian journals, but also abroad. And in fact, geography has a very bright future in India, so as to say. And this is also, a very serious step in the right direction towards inculcating the research culture, right? In research culture, and with rigor, because a lot of rigor has gone into it. And though, of course, we have to be a little cautious of using the social media platforms, and that is why, like, when we talk about methodology, we have, for example, we have both the qualitative and quantitative paradigms, or triangulation method as such, what we use. So in a way, these when we are using the social media platforms or such kind of methodology, it is also, we can use other methodology also parallel, so that we can validate our results and so on, because some ethical and other concerns also are with this when we use these kind of social media approaches. And thanks a lot. This is what I want to share. And I really learned a lot from this. And I was trying to connect it with my core discipline area, that is psychology, because as of now, the students have migrated to this form, but they have to go in, in a very slow and steady manner, because very few, it has to be, they take review of literature and so on. So from documentation and all, they have to learn a lot, because right now it is open. So we have also migrated to that form of data collection and analysis and so on. But it is a very nice attempt, and the theme was very appropriate, because this is going to stay. Actually, this medium is going to stay, but how it can become, sustainable and with rigor, we have to be cautious about that. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So we have come to the most crucial moment, and for that, I would like to call Dr. Kavita Arora, Convener, Department of Geography, Shahid Bhagat Singh College, to announce the best papers.
Thank you, Analya. So it's the most awaited moment for everybody who participated in this event. And I'll tell you that result is only with me. Nobody knows who is going first, second, and third. And before declaring the result, I just wanted to say a few things about this enclave. This time we really ensure that judges should not know the name of mentor. They were not aware about anything. In fact, 2 of judges were outside Delhi. So they were not knowing anybody from our team's member. And they really maintained this thing, and whatever marks they given, even nobody knows. Even they all themselves not share anything. And I just calculated, and then I share these marks you given like this, and then I prepare the result. So nothing is happened. It's a very clear and fair result with us. And we not bother the college, we not bother the mentor, we not bother the who are the team members. We just bother what you have done, what you are presenting, whatever the criteria, and the 3 criteria we have taken. We have not considered the time things, because it's a online program, so sometimes it happens the time limit we cannot consider. So we consider the 3 aspect only for the declaring the result. One was the content, another was the research methodology, and third was the presentation. So I'll not take much time, and I'm going to declare the result. So third prize, I'll start with the third prize. Third prize go to, the mentor is Dr. Vivek Tripathi. Dr. Vivek Tripathi from Miranda House. And
Let's all clap.
the theme was social media and narratives of the case study of Kedarnath.
Congratulations.
I'll congratulate because judges said it was a very, very wonderful presentation that was very clear. They were very clear in their presentation what they are going to do. So this was the third prize. And for the second prize, there are two teams and they both got 75 marks each. So I not change anything. I'm just going to declare as it is, whatever the result is there. And this, because team number is mixed up, so I'm just calling the mentor's name. One is, second prize is Dr. Rashmi Rani Anand. This is cyber geopolitics, diplomacy and counter-terrorism.
Rashmi, congratulations.
Thank you,
Ayush.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
It was my first time I mentored somebody, students, for the first time I did. Thank you
the
so
team,
much.
yes, this team was also good, and the judges praised this team also. And the second team was Dr. Poonam Sharma's team. They presented on understanding the role of pandemic influencing the direction of the So now we come to the team which is really appreciable. They did wonderful job, and that is team Miranda House. Mentor is Dr. Rakhi Parijat, and this is service geography to a social media lens, but Tapawala already convenience. And there are few best papers also.
So do we have Dr. Rakhi Parijat here?
Yeah, I'm there, Swati. Thank you
In
so
case
much.
we have Dr. Rakhi Parijat.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah,
Can
we would like to
Hi,
have some words
Rakhi.
from you.
Didn't say hi.
hello. Hello, sir. I hope you remember me. I was also there
That's
for
why I'm
that
saying you
orientation
didn't
course.
say anything.
Yeah.
I was looking for you. Hello,
Yeah, thank you
congratulations.
so much.
Congratulations
And in fact,
to you and your team.
Yeah, thank you so much. And just one line of appreciation, I would really thank the Bhagat Singh team, their students and teachers for organizing this event and giving an opportunity to all the young geographers. And thanks to Dr. Sardana, Dr. Batavyal and all the esteemed judges for their kind words and inspiring words. Thank you so much. And
yes,
yeah, please.
carry on.
Thank you. No, I'm through with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This presentation was really nice because twice I heard in the review meeting also, and this time also. It was a very, very wonderful presentation, and you really guided well to the students. Thank you so much. I would like to call Dr. Poonam Sharma. There are few best papers also, so she will announce those names. Dr. Poonam, are you there?
Account number दो भाई.
Ayush, mic off कर लो.
I'm here. This best paper data that is shared with me is the theme is role of social media in disasters, a comparative study of Bihar and Kerala. And the students are Pratyush, Analia, Prashant, Vivek, and Utsa. And the mentor is Dr. Raman. Another paper that is from Kamla Nehru College, application of geotagged images in managing unnotified dump sites and waste disposal. And the students are Manya Chaudhary, Mahima Ahlawat, Manu Arya, and Monica. And congratulations to mentor Mr. Joseph A. Ravi. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
A lot of efforts has been put up by all these students and all the participants. You know, I will just make one little two more lines just to participants from all the colleges who in all the teams On behalf of, as a team and as a co-participant mentor also, every paper, in each paper, I had been hearing, listening, and seeing. All the teams have really worked amazing. And students, what is important at every level, you are at the initial stages of academics at undergrad level, but you have done amazing. Every one of you have done amazing. Each paper was, I'm sure it must be a very difficult task with our esteemed judges to come up to certain of these numbers. But what is important is the best of efforts that you have put in with your work and the teamwork and taking up the task and producing the delivering the output. So these values that you have nurtured and learned through this last 6 months research experience, that is much more important. So completely sports person spirit and lot of good wishes. Dr. Kavita, yeah, please, over to you.
Thank you, Analya. So I'm through with the result.
We are ending the NGYC National Geographers Youth Conclave 2021, and for that, I would like to request Dr. Kavita Arora to deliver the final vote of thanks.
Thank you, Analya, for providing me the opportunity to give a formal vote of thanks. So this time I am taking U-turn, and I am starting to thank you, those who really work hard and make this event successful, and they are our student team members. So I just want to announce their name: Yashraj, Analya, Prithviraj, Tevraj, Utsavraj, Pratyush, Somen, Sanya, Astha, Harshit, Shakti, Aditya, and Sejal. So thank you so much, students. You really work hard, and I'm looking Analya. 2 days she is anchoring, and very wonderful anchor we have. So we always use this skill of her. Thank you so much. Now I'll start to thank our patron, respected principal sir, Dr. Anil Sardana, who really gave always support and time to us for making any event successful, for doing all the work of our department. I'm really thankful to sir. I'm also thankful to our chief guest, Professor Bhattapyar, who really was very busy this day, but he said, if you will just shift your time of valedictory, so I'll be able to join you, because I really requested him to join us. And during this discussion of fixing the time, he also said me that I know you because we met in the Professor Bhamri's room, and he is no more. And it was very shocking for me, sir, because I was not aware. I don't know, during the November time, I was also having COVID, so I was not aware really this happened, and I really miss the sir also. And sir, I know you because, as Dr. Monica said and Dr. Sarfraz said, I also attended a refresher course in JNU, and then you were there. So I know you with that also. I met with Rushta, Dr. Rushta also with you once, so I remember you that way. So thank you, sir. Sir, it was a wonderful speech. It was a really eye-opening. You said about how this data is created and utilized by the really these scholars. So we need to take care of all your suggestions regarding that. And I'm thankful to our chief guest of inaugural session also, Professor Anubhuti. She also gave a very wonderful insight to our student. And then our keynote speaker, Dr. Kiran, also very well presentation he also delivered. And it was really memorable time for us to spend these 2 days with scholars like you people. And I'm also thankful to mentors who really very well guided their student, and each and every presentation was wonderful, giving us new idea. It's not that we are teacher and we are faculty members, but it was a great learning for us. How they decided the topic, they work hard, and in this pandemic period, they connected with the student. they make the team and they really work hard for this event, and they participated very, very well way. And I'm also thankful to all the participants. Dear student, if you have not won the prize, it's nothing wrong. Nothing is like that. You have not did good. It was I'm saying from core of my heart that every presentation was so well. It was very, very difficult to decide for the judges or for me to calculating, because the score is very near to 0.5, 0.1 is like that. So every presentation was so good. So I'm really thankful too that you participated in this event and make the success for this event too. And I'm also thankful to all the participants, all the colleagues of other colleges and universities who participated, who managed to join this event, and also they gave the wishes to us who not able to join us. So thank you everybody for joining us and making this event very successful. And we are hoping that we are soon going to publish these papers also. We try to improve these papers and will publish in a form of book or like that, because this is a very new field for geographers and we really want to explore this through the writing. So thank you everyone for participating in this event. Thank you, sir. Yes, I forget two names which are very important. One is Dr. Swati and one is Dr. Poonam. They were co-convener and they really did so hard work in this, making this event very successful. And I'm also thankful to Dr. V.A.V. Raman, who actually 3 years before started a kind of event, because we used to do the conferences and he said ki there is no chance of the undergraduate student to participate and doing the research and presenting their papers. So we started this event. I'm really, really thankful to all these faculty members and other members too. Dr. Vijay, Dr. Neha, Dr. Rashmi, Dr. Ramlal, Dr. Janki, Dr. Satyam, Dr. Ganesh, they all were together, we worked together and making all the events successful. So thank you everyone. And if I missed any name, so please forgive me, because it happens sometimes. You cannot take all the names. Thank you so much.
Can I say something after your speech, Kavita?
Yes.
You know, this is a very, very, it's very, like I have goosebumps. After a long time, I met so many academic staff college trainees, you know, so many. Rakhi was one of my first batches, 2002, I remember. Rakhi, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yeah. One of
And
I remember.
if I now remember rightly, you did a coursework, a project work on space, if I'm not wrong. Remember?
Yeah.
So the
Idea
space,
of community and space.
the space, you know, that's a 2002, and I
Yeah.
remember some other of your colleague Ritu Ahlawat and all others.
Rima and I was
Rima and so many people, you know, and similarly Monica, including Anubhuti Yadav was one of the students there. So it's a very emotional moment, Sarfaraj, and you know, everyone.
Yes.
Since I
also attended contemporary studies.
Contemporary studies was one of the last ones that I was also before I conceived that. But since I live in hibernation, छुप के रहता हूँ, इसलिए this meeting, thanks more than you thanking me, I should thank you for getting me back to all these people, wonderful people, and that they made what Academic Staff College used to be. And thank you so much. It's a very emotional moment because almost everyone is there.
Yeah, that is really.
If I see you, I see the whole batch. And very interesting, what I wanted to say is a large number of geographers, because I have this bias for geography, a lot of geographers who have emerged in recent years have actually come here, and then after that I could see. Recently, this person from Gopa Samanta has published a wonderful book, and I remember she came for a course, and I was telling the judges it was an environmental science course, and they were not allowing geographers to come in. I forced my way and fought with UGC, got it open for geographers, and in that course, Gopa Samanta got the Best Participants Award. And this is long 2006, I think. And recently when I saw her book from France or somewhere, I was feeling so good. And she became the Academic Staff College Bardhaman University director and sent me a word that, you told me this. I'm feeling so good. So these are the good feeling moment after all this bad feeling over the last 3-4 days. Chala, good.
So we learned a lot from there. That contemporary studies course was very good. And they actually included all the science lectures also and social sciences also. So a very mixed kind of thing was there. And it was very well organized.
That is the first course. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. So we are going to end this meeting now.
Okay. Thank you, Kavita. Thanks.